Hare Krishna, Prema Samputa, Prabhu. Hi. Thanks for reaching me. Hare Krishna. Well, it's basic. It's just like a giving class in the temple room. But what we do is we first play the we play Prabhupada chanting Jai Radha Madhava. And after he finishes chanting the Jai Radha Madhava, we'll put the verse on the screen. Of course, I will introduce you to the audience, and then you take it from there. That is up to you. You chant the Sanskrit slokas. Usually nobody responds because that will cause a lot of noisy background. So you alone chant the slokas, and then you also do the word for word translation. You read the paper. After you read the paper, then you give. After that, you allow the audience comments, and it's usually takes 1 hour. It's like 1 hour, and you finish. Depending on the audience and how they can you go on for 30 or so more minutes during the Q&A.
My friend used to pay $163 for car insurance. Now look at how much he pays.
Say. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jayam Swataram Vidrajagacharya Siddhara Sadasyaman Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Sri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Sam Kund Radha Kund Giridhavardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Swami to Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Jamuna Mai ki jai. Tulasi Devi ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Swami to Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Shri Samputa Prabhu. You may
Hare
have-
Krishna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Yeah,
Haribo.
good to see
Thank
you.
you.
Good to have you.
Yeah. Nice to see you too.
So I understand you are in the mother's land.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
All right.
Hot weather.
If you wouldn't mind, we'll play like 2-3 minutes bhajan to wait for a couple more devotees.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
you start. Okay.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
If you've got a pack of hot dogs in the kitchen, toss them in the trash. And do this instead.
See, breakfast literally means
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So I'm going to put the verse on the screen and then we may start.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
So today we're taking our verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, First Canto 12:14.
Well, excuse me, devotees. Those of you who may not be very familiar with the speaker today, this is Prema Samputa. He is my god brother. He's a disciple of Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. And whoever is a disciple of Bhaktivedanta Maharaj is at least 15 years in devotional service. So he's an old devotee. And today we are graced to have him speak to us and share his realizations. Those who may not know him, he loves Kirtan as much as he loves to breathe air. So maybe when this all crazy COVID thing dies down, we may have his association entertaining us and blissfully taking us to the spiritual world through his Mahaharinam Sankirtan. So that is the devotee we have speaking today. Hare Krishna, thank you, Prema Samputa Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, big brother. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for giving me the opportunity to serve the Vaishnavas gathered here. So we're taking our scriptures today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, 12, 14. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So we read the Sanskrit. Hiranyam gam mahim graham asti avam nipapti varam agasvanam cha viprivya prajatikti satithave. Word for word. Hiranyam, gold. Cows. Im, land. Graham, villages. Hast, elephants. Ashvan, horses. There's one word is I cannot see.
Nirpati.
Nirpati. Nirpati, king. Param, reward. Pradat, gave in charity. Shu anam, good for grains. Cha, and viprivya. Viprivya brahmanas, prayatikta, on the occasion of giving in charity on the birth of a son. Sa, he, tiktavi, knows how, when, and where charity is to be given. Translation and prayer by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. Upon the birth of a son, a king who knew how, where, and when charity should be given, gave gold, land, villages, elephants, horses, and good food, grains to the brahmanas. Purport. Only the brahmanas and the sannyasis are authorized to accept charity from the householders in all the different occasions of samskaras, especially during the time of birth, marriage, and death. Wealth is distributed to the brahmanas because the brahmanas give the highest quality of service in regard to the prime necessity of humankind. The charity was substantial in the shape of gold, land, villages, horses, elephants, and food grains with other materials for cooking complete foodstuff. The Brahmanas were not, therefore, poor in actual sense of the term. On the contrary, because they possessed gold, land, village, horses, elephants, and sufficient grains, they had nothing to earn for themselves. They would simply devote themselves to the well-being of the entire society. The word Titavit is significant because the king knew well where and when charity has to be given. Charity is never unproductive or blind. In the Shastra, charity was offered to the person who deserved to accept charity by dint of spiritual enlightenment. The so-called Daridra Narayana, a misconception of the Supreme Lord by unauthorized person, is never to be found in the Shastra as the object of charity. Nor can a wretched poor man receive such munificent charity in the way of horses, elephant, land, and village. The conclusion is that the intelligent men or the Brahmanas specifically engaged in the service of the Lord were properly maintained without anxiety for the needs of the body, and the king and other householders gladly look after all their comfort. It is joined in the Shastra that as long as a child is joined with the mother by the navel pipe, the child is considered to be one of one body with the mother. But as soon as the pipe is cut, the child is separated from the mother. The purificatory process of Jata Kama is performed. The administrative demigod and the past forefathers of the family come to see a newly born child. And such an occasion is specifically accepted as the proper time for distributing wealth to the right person productively for spiritual advancement of society. Mama Gyana Timrandasya, Gyana Salakaya, Chakshu Omilitayena, Tasmai Shri Gaurave Namaha. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Krishabhanu Sukta Devi Pranamami Hari Arya Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Naruttama Devi Saraswati Tatsam Tattva Jayam Ode. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pritaya Bhoktale Shrimakti Bhaktivedanta Swami Name Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachari Mere Vichis Sumari. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pritaya Bhoktale Shrimakti Bhaktivedanta Swami Name Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupashtakmani Shri Gaurakarna Shakti Bhaktivedanta Swami Name Nitananda 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 Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vishari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we take the verse again. It says, this is covering that. Upon the birth of a son, the king who knew how, where, when charity should be given, gave gold, land, villages, elephants, horses, and a good food grain to the Brahmanas. this subject matter is really beautiful and deep. Thank you all the senior devotees, my senior God brother, Saturday Prabhu, which have done wonderful service, and you really inspire me so much with your Kirtan spirit. When you're dancing, oh, Salika is around. And dear sister Loka Devi Dasi and Savagunishwara, everyone, thank you very much for taking the opportunity to be here. So, as we can see from the beautiful verse, according to time, places, and circumstances, service is being rendered accordingly. In the Srila Prabhupada purport, Srila Prabhupada did mention, explain very deeply, the king, they know how, when to share charity, feed each and every one. And I know a lot of devotees are already aware the importance of feeding Brahmanes. Just like in each and every yoga, there are different nam, mantra, which is being chanted. And here in the Kali Yoga, the mantra is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Likewise, in those olden days, kings were so rich that they could feed the Brahmanes or the Grihastas. By then, they have so much wealth. They are not poor. The Brahmanes, they were not poor. The kings were not poor. They had a lot in abundance to give. And this made it really beautiful. But looking very deep into that, this was all being done from the place of love. It was flowing naturally from the heart. They understood the deeper meaning of charity. We are in the age whereby when people do a little bit of charity, the whole world will hear about it. There will be a big, billboard, big signboard, displaying each and everything that they've done. And this is not so sweet, but this is the age in which we are. That if you don't do that, people don't see that. And these people could not even give half of what Srila Prabhupada was explaining in the purport. They could not. Gold. Who will be giving charity, gold in charity in this Kali Yoga? It's not possible. Which king will be giving, even local chiefs will be giving land as charity? I'll be the first person to go for it. And this is not possible. So we can see that our age, our Kali Yogas, really, really, really different. We are not even half of the description of what Srila Prabhupada is talking about here. But when we dive very, 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 very deep into what Srila Prabhupada is explaining here and comparing it in our current situation, Kali Yoga, how does this apply in our day-to-day activity in ISKCON? I think 4 or 5 years ago, His Holiness Bhakti Charaswami Maharaj, after our Kumbh Mela, we were hosted in his Ujjain temple, and after His Holiness Srivas Vanachari. He did his lecture. Then the next day, I was asked to speak. Uncomfortable, so I was sharing some my own idea, the full meaning of ISKCON. And it's funny, but it is real. We are not deviating from the topic. We are on the track on this topic. When you see this beautiful institution, home that Srila Prabhupada has given to us, the word ISKCON, ISKCON. I divided it into 3 parts. IS means what? Is. KC, it means what? Krishna consciousness. ON means what? On. Meaning, is your Krishna consciousness on or is your Krishna consciousness off? When your Krishna consciousness is on, everything that Srila Prabhupada has explained in this beautiful verse flows naturally. You are always eager, seeing the beautiful qualities, the positive, beautiful qualities of each and every devotee. And when this heart becomes filled with so much love, like Gurudev Bhakti Swami Maharaj explained in his Spiritual Warrior, Transforming Lust into Love. So beautiful verses over there. So when the heart becomes so much infected with so much love, because our Krishna consciousness is on. Now what happened? We'll be seeing the wonderful qualities of devotees. We'll be seeing the wonderful, imagine one devotee is dressing the deity, and while dressing the deity, you come, wow, so you did all this? Thank you so much. You were not seeing the other side of the defect on the altar. You're just appreciating, the eyes is so much filled with love, and you just appreciating a lot of energy that devotees has put in to make that altar so beautiful. When the Krishna consciousness is on, now what happened? Even when you have a very little, we will be so much eager to invite devotees after Ekadashi, breaking of fast. When you see one devotee is in need, from a loving perspective, we will be there to assist that devotee. And this is only when our Krishna consciousness is on. When the Krishna consciousness is off, then we are not under the umbrella of Srila Prabhupada. But when the Krishna consciousness is on, we are always under the umbrella of Srila Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada gave us a very beautiful house. Once I was reading Srila Prabhupada's, God brother, comment he was sharing with devotee of ISKCON. It said, you devotees of ISKCON, you are double blessed. You have the mercy of Nityananda Mahaprabhu and the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. This is so beautiful. That is why our Krishna consciousness should always be on, no matter whatever the situation. Then our heart and our beautiful eyes will be filled with so much love that we'll be able to put into practice, at least to the little that we can, as described in the scriptures by Srila Prabhupada. But when our Krishna consciousness is off, now what happened? We don't see anything except finding fault. Why didn't you put the flowers on the altar like this? What doesn't seem to be wrong, you see it as wrong. No matter what any devotee does in your life, you will not see it so beautiful. You will only pick the negative aspect of it. But we need to understand, for us to enjoy this Milamrita, beautiful nectar of Srila Prabhupada, it is necessary that our Krishna consciousness should always be on. It's really serious. When the Krishna consciousness is on, the negative aspect will walk away. But the deeper stuff is that. Now, look at it. Since childhood, we have been told we are not good enough. We've been told you cannot do anything. Different presidents, different God brothers, different God sisters, different people from outside. So we've had a lot of all this negative comment since from childhood, from our own biological parent. Enough. But as a devotee, if we want to progress deeply in the spiritual path, bhakti, our Krishna consciousness must be on. And there are two things involved for our Krishna consciousness to be on. For our Krishna consciousness to be on, there are two things involved. One, I remember many years ago, His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Maharaj was giving a lecture at Accra Temple, and he was explaining this. I may not quote word to word. By then I was the secretary, so I still have deep memory of the lecture. So for our Krishna consciousness to be on, there are two things involved. One, when we wake up in the morning, what is the first thing that comes to our mind? Right away from the bed. Thank you, Gurudev. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. These two words is enough. Thank you, Gurudev. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for my life. And so when we put this one into practice, I love to challenge. Because when Maharaj said this, maybe 15 or 16, 30 years ago, he threw all these questions to all the devotees in the temple room, and everybody was quiet. And I was sitting right in front of Maharaj, and I looked like felt uncomfortable because it wasn't part of my life. So, but it really hit my heart so much. You say, yes, Krishna consciousness is a science. And this science, we need to know it. So Maharaj said, if our Krishna consciousness is on, if we want to feel the love of bhakti, what is so much hidden into this bhakti process, we have to be properly connected. Just waking up early in the morning, thank you, Gurudev. Thank you, Prabhupada. This alone is so powerful that even if we have not chanted one round, the power within these two words, thank you, Gurudev. This bridge a very deep guru-disciple relationship. And what happens? This helps us to be able to live what Srila Prabhupada is talking in this lecture. Because there are so many people who have money, but they cannot help. Because this is not there. Of course, in the material world, people do, a showbiz charity just for popularity. But if we need to do this from the place of love, as explained by Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj in his Transforming Lust into Love and other lectures, you could see how deep and beautiful then it is. You feel it very deep in the heart. So waking up early in the morning, whatever time you wake up, it's up to you. But the first thing that when we wake up is, thank you, Gurudev. This word, no matter wherever the Guru, the spiritual master is, he will feel it. The spiritual master, it will hit his heart. Someone is calling me. It doesn't matter. The spiritual master has thousands, millions of disciples. He will feel you. Yeah, I tried it. It works, and it's working. Sincerely speaking, the day Maharaj said it, like maybe 10 or 11 years ago, and this was really, really touching. And I said, well, I love challenge. I love to experiment. And I put it into use, and it was really helpful, because there comes a time in the spiritual life you go off track, or you be so dry within that you cannot even chant the name. We may chant the alphabet, but the name, the Nam, chanting the Nam to attract the Nam, that is not coming. I remember one day I offended Shri Guru because I allowed myself to be exposed to some of this nonsense from this. Sahadev, can you tell me the name of these people? I forgot. These people who speak nonsense about the Prabhupada disciples. I cannot hear you.
Yeah, I'm also trying to get the name. Redwicks?
Redwick, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, and I read something they're speaking so negative about my Gurudev. I felt so hurt sitting under the neem tree in front of the temple. I felt so shut down. Why? Gurudev. Immediately I lose. It was like some energy just disappeared right away from my whole body. I was like empty. I could not chant the holy name. Then it was that same day Guru Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, was giving a lecture. And for those of you who might not know his holiness Bhaktivedanta Maharaj well, I have served him with trouble for years. When he's singing Jaya Radha Madhava, and he's looking around everybody's face, he's reading each and everybody's heart. Kunjabi Hare. And when he speaks, hit your heart. You see somebody goes to report you. Just a knowledge about Maharaj. So now what happens that Maharaj that morning, the lecture was just hitting me and hitting me and hitting me and hitting me. Confess, this is what is going on in my life. So for our Krishna consciousness to be on, to feel that love under the umbrella of Srila Prabhupada, that guru-disciple relationship has to be really deep. And when that for the guru-disciple relationship to be deep, we need this thing, this mantra. Thank you, Gurudev. Every morning when we wake up, no matter whatever the situation, even when we forget it and we get to remember. Thank you, Guru. Thank you, Prabhu. And this will make our Krishna consciousness, sincerely speaking, to be very beautiful. And it's beautiful. When you chant the Nam, you feel the Nami. When you chant the Nam from the place of love, this makes you to chant the name from the place of love. And when the heart, as His Holiness Bhakti-tirtha Swami explained in several of his lecture, love, 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 love. That is all what is in the holy name. Within the holy name is love. Chanting the Nam is love. Krishna sleep, love. Everything about Krishna is about love. Chista Liuba. Krishna will say Chista Liuba, pure love. So this is what happens when our Krishna consciousness is on. And when the heart becomes filled with so much love, we will love to share. Beautiful charity. When we give birth to a child, a son or a girl, we are always inviting people. And this is a natural tradition in Africa. It's natural. I don't know so much of the West. Of course, in the West also, a lot of people come around to eat, drink, and go. But if we want to do this from a different dimension, everybody is doing it. Just for example, in the ISKCON setup, we are doing music. Some people are popular within ISKCON. The same way in the outside world, there are musicians who are also popular within their own framework. So now, normally what happens is that, how then do we do ours? His Holiness Bhakti-tirtha Maharaj again explained something connected with this in Vrindavan. That was really funny. Sadhu Prabhu, you would love to hear this. It was so embarrassing to me. You know, when we are young guys, we are growing up and doing kirtan. You know, Maharaj explained there are two types of kirtan: boyfriend kirtan and girlfriend kirtan. And when Maharaj said that was a Udavakun. Udavakun, by then we have explored. We've explored all the holy dhams. Everybody is aware of West African kirtan. We inundate Kumbh Mela, a historic event that has never happened with the Nam. The His Holiness Sarvabhaumacharya, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj, Lokanath were so much happy. Then Maharaj took over when we were on the trip, Parikram in Vrindavan, we got Udavakun. So then Maharaj give lecture, and he looked at me. Prema Samputa, what do you think? There are two types of kirtan: boyfriend kirtan and girlfriend kirtan. Is it not true? Oh, Maharaj. I was shut down. I was shut down completely. But this was really helpful to me because you see that many people do this. When people see there's so much crowd, so many our young gopis around, they want to entice them with the kirtan. So this category of boyfriend and the girlfriend kirtan, when the ladies are also having the kirtan, they are having an eye glance to the Prabhujis. So what happened is that Maharaj helped me a lot with that statement in the crowd. Because by then I was also in that same category. But, you know, hitting my heart so straightforward helped me a lot to be able to grow with the holy name, no matter how. He said, when we are chanting the Nam to attract the Nami, it should be from the place of love. While we're chanting the holy name. So the holy name is divided into 3 categories. You see that the first part is from the mood of what? Prayer. Vasudeva. While chanting, if, for example, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare, Hare Rama, Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare, Hare. This part of the mantra, the first part of this mantra, should be from the place of Vasudeva. You begging the name. Because it is explained in the Shri Shri Guru Ashtaka that Nirkuja Yono Raktikalisunda, Yayali Beyoka, Ni Apexabe, Akrakti Basha, Aktivala Basha, Bande Guru Tri, Charanara Brahma. The spiritual master, they are very expert in the science of serving Shri Radha and Krishna. So we are just a representative of the spiritual master. So the mood that the Gurudev, Sri Guru will use to serve their lordship, we should try at least to imbibe that kind of mood when we chanting the holy name. And this will only happen when our Krishna consciousness is on. Then the heart becomes filled with love, because while chanting the Nam to attract the Namin, what is happening? You see all the devotees in the temple. The number of devotees in the temple gathered. When you are leading the kirtan with ego, you collect all the karmic activities of all these people on you. So now what happened? So while we're chanting the Nam, and immediately this thing comes in our mind. Oh, I am the best. I am the best Kirtaniya. And you are seeing about 100 devotees, all their karmic activity, you draw that on you. So immediately you see this thing coming in your mind, just stop the kirtan and ask permission to walk away. Allow somebody else to take that. So this also Maharaj did share at Uddhava Kund when he was hammering on us. So this is how this, and this only happens when our Krishna consciousness is on. When the Krishna consciousness is on, then the heart becomes so soft. You're always thinking about how you will serve devotees from the place of love. Just like Gurudev said in most of his spiritual warriors, it's all about love. Because the process of bhakti is very deep, at the same time very simple. We have senior devotees over here. Ganga Prabhu, please welcome. Sahadev and Ko Salika are here. So you may also later throw some light on that. One senior devotee also said sometime that we can choose to be under the umbrella of Srila Prabhupada. We will still have that protection. But being under the umbrella of Srila Prabhupada is not enough. That doesn't mean we are 100% guaranteed that, oh, we're going to back to Godhead without not putting any effort. Even in the material world, you have to put in some effort. So waking up and using that mantra, thank you, Gurudev. This means a lot. Your connection with Shri Guru becomes so deep. And secondly, the second part of it is that on each and every Ashtami, Ekadashi, full moon, write a letter to Shri Guru. Write a letter to the deities. Now, you know, by human tendency, even in the Christian background, in the Muslim background, and our Hare Krishna background, we are always going to the deities, asking, Shri Radha Govinda, I need this. Radha Madhava, Radha Pata Saraswati, I need this. Radha Shamachandra, every Gauranitai, Jagannath, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need that. A whole list of shopping bag. 2021 is getting to an end, and we have a whole list of shopping bag. But never times we ever ask, hey, Radha Shamasundara, Radha Govind, what can I do for you? Because when we ask Radha Shamasundara, Radha Govindaji, any of our beloved deities, what can I do for you? We get an answer. This was a challenge His Holiness Bhakti Dhyada Maharaj threw to us and also shared with me in most of his trip 12 years ago. And this was really, he said, when you write a letter, whatever difficulties that we are going on in our spiritual life, maybe our japa, maybe our cordial relationship with each and every devotee, just write a letter. Write a letter. Dear Gurudev, I have this problem. That is when, if the spiritual master is not physically present, write a letter and put it in front of his deity. He will reply. When Maharaj said this, I said, wow, I love to challenge. I love to put this into place. And it works. Now, one thing is that, or on the Shingadev Chaturdasi or Balaram Appearance Day, Radharan, any holy day, write a letter and put it in front to that particular personality of your choice. They will reply. Sometimes in the process of writing, you fall asleep and you get the answers in the dream. Sometimes in the process, when you write the letter, you offer it to your Gurudev picture, you get the answer through another devotee. So for our Krishna consciousness to be on, it is necessary that we put this into use. One, when we wake up first thing early in the morning, thank you, Gurudev. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. This means a lot. It's just like, husband and wife, together, one person showing appreciation for the little thing the other person is doing, the other person sharing appreciation for what each other person is doing. This makes things to move well. So this is one aspect of that. As to have a deeper understanding of what Srila Prabhupada is saying about this charity, when the heart becomes filled with love, and this only happens when the word ISKCON is playing the role. Is our Krishna consciousness on, or is our Krishna consciousness off? But when the Krishna consciousness becomes off, we have 101, 108, 100 millions excuses why ISKCON is perfect, but we are human being managing. So anything can happen. But even in this circumstance, we still have to continue to chant the holy name and try to serve Srila Prabhupada in any way that we can. So actually, this is what will make when our Krishna consciousness is on. And when the Krishna consciousness becomes on, the heart becomes filled with so much joy. You want to serve devotees, because all what is being explained in the chapter by Srila Prabhupada, none of us can give both. His Grace, our God brother who left the body recently, he went very close, giving cars, as his Harinam ambassador, I still have deep memory of that. He did a lot. He did so much. And this is a clinical example of what Srila Prabhupada wants to explain over here, when commoners, when the kings, they have so much wealth, they share to the Brahmins, to the wealthy people. They share. So he tried, His Grace Bali tried his best to reform, within the same process. Try to give devotees the little that he can, bring in financial support, just for devotees to have a little bit of peace of mind, to be able to go out, to go and share the holiness, because it got to a time temples were shut down. No Harinam. Harinam were not going on. So we have to inundate one man Harinam. And it expands, and it expands, he invests, and the whole world got to hear of Africa. So this is, but the little that we have, we may not have so much like Bali or the kings with so much, but the little that we have within our own jurisdiction, we should share it from the place of love. By putting it to practice every morning. Thank you, Srila Prabhu. Thank you, Gurudev. If we are going to sleep and we want to put that also into practice, thank you, Gurudev, for a wonderful day. I'm grateful. These words are really powerful. They are very simple, but really powerful. And they can make so many miracles happen in our spiritual life. You don't need to be your name to be heard all around the whole ISKCON, but deep down within you, the relation that you'll be going through between guru-disciple relationship will be really deep. And last but not the least, for us to be able to put into practice what Srila Prabhupada is saying in that paper, we need to write a letter to the spiritual master at least once in a while. We need to write a letter to the spiritual master once in a while. When we write in a letter to the spiritual master once in a while, it reopens our guru-disciple relationship. And this helps our Krishna consciousness to be on and 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 on. It makes our bhajan very beautiful. So on this note, Vanchakapa Tarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Vyayavacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavabhyo, Shrinam Prabhu Ki. Over to you, His Grace Sahadev.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, His Grace Prema Samputa Prabhu. Thank you so much for such a wonderful class, and especially the way you dissected ISKCON. It's a Krishna consciousness turned on or off. So it appears we have ISKCON and ISKOF. I pray to be on the side of ISKCON. At this point, we ask devotees to use the hand emoji to raise their hand and ask questions if they have any. Thank you so much for the wonderful class.
Thank you. You're an inspiration.
Okay, Dr. George, you may unmute and ask your question, please.
Okay, Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Actually,
George.
I would like to use this opportunity to express my gratitude to the senior devotees who made it possible for the senior youth to have the forum these days, especially in the last days of the year. So we would like to see more of this coming years. So, Prabhu, to my question, I would like to know, one senior devotee said, you can be a pure devotee or you can chant, you can be the best chanter But if you are devoid of giving charity, you will be lacking. So I would like you to throw a little bit light on this. Hare
Thank you very
Krishna.
much. Haribo.
Actually, I have two questions, but this is my first question. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. I don't know who said that, and what I can a little bit light I can share on it. We have senior devotees over here. Someone may say something based on what he or she has read, based on he or she experience, energy vibration, whatever. But what we have to understand over here from what the Prabhupada is saying here in this verse, understand this verse is still fresh, but this is Kali Yoga. Time, places, and circumstance. In the past, in different Sati Yoga, Dwapara Yoga, there are so many mantras. There are so many mantras that they chant, but the specific mantra for this Kali Yoga is what? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And this is one of the best charity that we can ever. That's why you see our senior God brothers, see the gurus, some they keep expatiating on this word. Chant the holy name, chant the holy, but from the place of what? Love. Because if we chant the holy name from the place of love, this is one of the best charities you can ever give to someone. If you have that financial strength, not everyone has this financial strength, not everyone. So let's say, for example, I don't have a financial strength to give some charity, but you can do something wonderful in helping another devotee. You know, Krishna is Nam Chintamani. Krishna is everything. Krishna is not limited by our words of choice. For example, in our Christendom, in our material world, sometimes we try to limit God with our material understanding. And when we limit God, what happens? Okay, because we humans cannot do this, maybe God cannot do this at the same time. Now, coming to your question, Krishna doesn't care what you do. He only cares the loving aspect within what you are doing. Some people may have money, they will do a lot of charity, but that charity, ask yourself, you cannot go deep into their heart. Ask yourself, is this charity from the place of love? Or is this charity from the place you want to be seen? So, on the part of bhakti, for me, if you ask me, I leave for Krishna to answer. It's all about heart connection. If you chant in the holy name, let it be from the place of love. So one day, when we were on Parikram, I'm sharing what he's talking about to the other man share with me because I was traveling with my life for long. He always said, each and every dham, each and every tita, each and every holy place, recite this mantra, recite this mantra, recite this mantra. That should be the only goal. And it helps me in my little spiritual life when I'm chanting the Nam. So I try the Nam. So if you have that means to do both, do it. If you have, do it. If one that you can do well, just dive very deep into it. If you have some of the senior devotees all over gathered here, they will share the same thing to you. It's like business. If you are outside business, when you have so many multiple business, then sometimes the business doesn't go so successful because the money is divided. But if you have something that you put all energy, attention, focus in it, you start to feel the taste of the holy name. Yeah, you start to feel that taste within that holy name, because the holy name is so nectarian. It doesn't, you don't even need to be a pure devotee. But when you chant the holy name from the place of love and with the blessing of Sri Guru, it's finished. So, George, one little comment I can put on that is this. We have Sade Prabhu here, Ganga Prabhu is over there, Salika Prabhu over there. Over to you.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the beautiful answer. I hope Dr. George is satisfied with the answer. I personally find it very
yeah, Prabhu.
Yes, you can go ahead. Dr.
Yes,
George.
Prabhu, I'm okay with the answer, but I don't know. Okay, I have a follow-up question. So, isn't that the same senior devotee said that for anybody who is being poor in this world now, in this lifetime, it's as a result of he not being charitable in his previous lifetime. So if that's the case, now we are chanting the holy name. So that means it covers all aspects, if I get you clearly. Because for anybody who has not given money is probably, I'm thinking that for you, maybe in your previous life, you've not given money in charity. Yeah, you'll be devoid of money. When you've not given love, you'll be devoid of love. So that is my understanding when he said so. But now I'm trying to get it from a different point of view. But as you say, we have senior devotees on this platform also. So I need a deep clarification on this.
You know what?
Hare Krishna. I hope you get my second question. Okay.
Yeah. You see? Yeah, the scriptures explain very beautifully why some people appear in a wonderful family, why some people appear in the other family. But the question is that wherever we might have appeared at, now we now have the access by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada to change it. So if you, for example, that's why I explained from the beginning that there are two types of kirtan: boyfriend kirtan and girlfriend kirtan, or kirtan for adoration. So when our kirtan fall into these two categories, then this kirtan is not a kirtan in the mood of charity. You understand? This kirtan then is not so beautiful. Then this cycle of samskara, we keep going on and on and on and on. But when we change, it's just a switch of mindset. It's just a switch. It's just a switch. You just need to switch. And switching is so simple that you just need the beautiful grace of Sri Guru. That connection should be the guru-disciple relationship. And this only happens when our Krishna consciousness is on. Yeah, it's true. Some people have appeared in a wonderful family, and some people also appeared in the bad family, but they put in a lot of effort to change it. If we have this mindset that, for example, money is evil, you're not going to get that money. We can even chant the holy name for billions of years, and somebody who is a criminal outside will be having money more than someone who is chanting the holy name. So that contest, sometimes some of these contests are really deep. We can throw a lot of quotation, a lot of ideas on it, but it always boils down to what? A deeper inner reflection. And this comes from Sri Guru and Sri Krishna. So whatever situation we might find ourselves, we can still change it. We can change it. Maybe now we might find ourselves in a family where there's not so much money, but we can change it by putting in a lot of effort. Over to you, sir.
Well, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Dr. George, for the question and the answer given also. Thank you so much. If I may add anything,
Yeah, please do.
To what Prema Samputa Prabhu just said, to me, the answer is just what you said. And to Dr. George, the fact is, whatever that senior devotee told you could be true, but it cannot be generalized.
Yeah.
It cannot be generalized. So that's all I have to say. And Oladimeji Prabhu, you may unmute and ask your question, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare Prabhu. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the simple lecture. Very simple and easy to understand. And thank you for breaking it down to our level of understanding. Now, my question is directed to the translation of today's text, where it stated that the king who knew how and where and when charity should be given. When exactly, is there any particular time or place or time to give charity? And what's the intention of that particular text or the king to when they were supposed to do charity? Then how does it relate to our current Kali Yuga?
Yeah, thank you so much for that beautiful question. Yeah, when you see in the past, the kings, they were deep in knowledge because they had brahmanes. If I'm right, Sahadev and Ganga Prabhu Salika. The kings has advisors who are well known in Shastric knowledge. So they are being guided by people with deep Brahmins with deep knowledge. They look into their community, wherever they are governing, and they know how to give charity to the right Brahmanes. Because some of these kings, they were not just ordinary kings. Look at King Parishit. Just to set a clinical example. Some of these kings, they performed a lot of tapasya. The austerity that took them to be that king is not easy. Some of them has the mystical powers to foresee past, present, future. And these kings, by the help of these bona fide Brahmins, they were able to what? To dictate. It's, for example, now let's come back to Kali Yoga. It's very easy to see who's a criminal. When you and I are walking and we pass by a police officer, maybe you are not afraid, you don't care. But when an armed robber, he sees a police officer coming, they are not, the energy, the vibration doesn't click. If he wants to find his way out, doesn't want to have anything to do with it. So these kings in the past, they were so much endowed with deep Shastric knowledge and being surrounded by a lot of Brahmins who were guiding him. And so they are able, when the child is being born, the son is being born, they were able to share the wealth proportionally. For example, they were giving gold, as Prabhupada explained. They were giving land, not just land, lands, a lot of foodstuff, huge, so much. Now, who can do this in this Kali Yoga? It's not possible. No king would like to share the gold which is meant for you and I. They would like to, decorate themselves with this gold and show in public how rich they are. And another clinical example you can see from the material perspective, you see Dubai, right? The king of Dubai, they are very simple with their dress. But study our kings in Africa. Their body is full of decorated with gold, ornaments, so many other stuff. But our country is so poor. Not compared to other kings where they are not so much decorated, but their country is well organized. That's how it is. So in the Kali Yoga, it's difficult for us to vividly follow all this wonderful stuff Srila Prabhupada was saying in that effort. There's no king. I cannot remember. Maybe Ganga Prabhu, Salika, Sahadev know something to tell. But me, I don't know any king who will be giving gold in charity or land. If there's any king in Nigeria, Benin City, and they are giving land, then I would love to change my identity to be a Nigerian. I'm a living Benin, but I can get the land. I don't know any of that. I don't know. Trust me. Nobody will give you land. Nobody will give you gold. What even to talk of silver? Copper, self, you will not get something. Copper, forget it. This is Kali Yoga. This is Kali Yoga. Welcome to the club of Kali Yoga. So in this Kali Yoga, as devotees, what charity can we do? If we have that financial means and we want to help devotees, maybe the devotee has sacrificed all their life in the early stage of Krishna consciousness for you and I to be enjoying second generation, third generation following. And you feel you can support. You support that from the place of love without not sharing to people that I help this Prabhu, I have that. That is beautiful. That's a beautiful charity. If you could share the norm from the place of love to help people within the mind, you are saying when you carry your instrument and you're on the Hare and you are singing, and all what is in your mind is that you are focusing your mind at the lotus feet of Sri Guru. Why are you chanting? The first one, in the mood of prayer, Vasudev that. If you are massaging the lotus feet of Sri Guru, you're chanting the holy name with feeling, then that Kali Yoga charity can affect anyone who hears that. That is a very powerful charity. Over to you, Sadi, Prabhu Ganga Salika.
Well, Hare Krishna, thank you. Thank you for the response and thank you for the question, Oladimeki Prabhu. You always ask very interesting, intelligent questions. I am with the opinion that anytime anybody speaks, like you are speaking today, Prema Samputa Prabhu, you are wherever you are at, but you are sitting on the Vyasasan. And sitting on the Vyasasan means that you are the representative of Srila Vyasadeva. So if you are speaking, Srila Vyasadeva is speaking, then who are we to say more than what the speaker has said? All we can do is to ask questions for more elucidation, more clarification, up until when the speaker himself gives the room that, okay, you may give comment, like you're doing now. You're asking some of the devotees to add on, subtract, or whatever. But the Siddhanta that we follow, our practice, is that the speaker is the representation of Srila Vyasadeva, and we only ask questions. So with that, I know Ganga Prashad Prabhu has his hand up, but Sri Prema Samputa Prabhu, I would like you to expatiate a little bit more on this statement Sri Prabhupada made here. I'm going to highlight it. Here it says, the charity was substantial in the shape of gold, land, villages, horses, elephants, and food grains. with other materials for cooking, complete foodstuff. The Brahmins were not therefore poor in the actual sense of term. Here, this is the key word I want us to talk about. The Brahmins were not therefore poor in the actual sense of the term. So I would like you to expand a little bit more on this, because oftentimes we hear some devotees say that a Brahmin has to be poor. I mean, like, one of the characteristics to some of these devotees is that the Brahmin has to be poor. And if the Brahmin is not poor, then he ceases to remain a Brahmin. But here, Srila Prabhupada is saying that the Brahmins were not therefore poor in the actual sense of the term, because they are giving charity of all these things, so that they do not have to struggle to spend much time working and not studying the scriptures to help others. So I would like you to throw more light on this.
Yeah, thank you. Haribo, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, whatever Prabhupada said over here is 100% perfect. Brahmanes are not poor. Poverty, there are different categories of poverty, if I may say that. Being poor, that doesn't mean
impoverished.
Thank you very much. Poverty, when you don't have deep, you lose self-confidence. You don't have the will to continue to go on in life. This is a complete poverty. Anything that you do in spiritual life, nothing will click. But this whole idea that, we hear that, like what Senior Godbrother Sade was saying, that, there are so many devotees, not all, but some, that have this mindset, oh, devotees, Brahmins are poor, Brahmins are poor, Brahmins are poor, Brahmins are. You see, when we keep chanting this mantra that Brahman, I'm not poor, for me, I'm not poor. When we keep chanting this mantra, oh, I'm a Brahman, I'm poor, you will be poor, because see, the power of the mind is so powerful. What you feed the mind is what will take place. Because when you see this, let's understand that in that same verse, Prabhupada, according to time, when, and places, these Brahmins in those days, these are billionaires Brahmins. These are billionaire Brahmins, and they had that audacity, that power to share such wealth, even upon all this wonderful, charity that they are giving. They even have enough to give utensils for the people to prepare whatever they need. So Brahmin, in actual sense, proper, that does not mean that Brahmanes are poor. No way. Brahmanes are not poor. It's by nature also, not everyone will be able to harvest that money. It's not all. Even in the Kali Yoga, you see a lot of people, they struggle to make it, and yet they cannot make it. But some people, just like this, they're not bashful. Some people, just like this, they have that spirit of making money. So if a Brahmana is not materially not having, but that Brahmana can nourish the heart of each and every one around him or her, this is a deep charity also. This is the little I can try about that.
Thank you so much for that answer and response. Thank you so much. Ganga Prasad Prabhu, you may unmute and go ahead with your question. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prem Samputa Prabhu, Dandava Pranam.
Hare Krishna, nice, dear Father.
Nice seeing you at this time.
Thank you so
I really don't have a question, but I just want to make some input.
Okay.
My first input is from what Prabhu Sahadev said.
Okay.
That you are sitting on the Vyasa-san.
Okay.
And so you are be all and end all. Obviously, Sahadev Prabhu is very right. But in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Uddhava met, when Vidura met Uddhava, and he was asking him some questions, what Prabhupada said there was etiquette of a younger person not speaking in the presence of an elder. Uddhava is younger to Maitreya. And when Krishna was giving his departure instructions, Maitreya was present, Uddhava was present. But Vidura met Uddhava first. And Uddhava told him, please, Maitreya is very close by. Go to him, he will speak to you all what you want to know. So while we are being taught this, we are made to understand that whenever you are on Vyasa, you are giving oration, and your superior comes in, it is ethical to recognize them and give them a place of bearing, even though you are the officiating person, but recognize them. And so we're taught along the line also that the reason why Balaram killed Ramasana Sutta, Ramasana Sutta was one on the Vyasa, and when Balaram came in, he failed to give that veneration to a superior. And so he killed him with a straw of kusa grass. But the sages there were not against the chastisement for improper conduct, but they pleaded with him to make a replacement for Ramasana Sutta. And that is how Sutta Goswami was enthroned to replace his father. That's my first contribution. Second contribution is about the question of Prabhu Oladimeji. You answered perfectly. I'm only trying to add to it because it's question like directed towards when, where, and how to give charity. And in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, text 20 to 22, it mentions that charity is of three modes. You gave the perfect answer because they don't act on their own. They are guided by Brahmanas. And Brahmanas are really, that is what they do. They teach society, they guide society based on scripture. So he said charity in the mode of, he said charity given out of duty without expectation of returns at the proper time and place and to a worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness. That is 1720. 1721. But charity performed with the expectation of some returns or with a desire for fruitive result or in a grudging mood is said to be charity in the mode of passion. And 22 says, and charity performed at an impure place, at an improper time, to an unworthy person, or without proper attention and respect is said to be in the mode of ignorance. So this is just to add to what you have answered, and your answer was proper. But I'm just trying to diagnose what his question was. I don't know, Oladimeji, if this adds something to you. And then
that's perfect. That's perfect.
That's the perfect answer. You have put the icing on the cake.
That's good.
Number three, when Prabhu Sahadev made you to expatiate on Brahmanas and people saying Brahmanas are poor, even our Lord Jesus Christ and St. John of the Cross in his Canticle of Love and Light said, it's not that you have to be physically poor, but poverty of heart. And what is poverty of heart? Poverty of heart is nirmama. Nothing belongs to me. Everything belongs to God. So whatever you have is just to be utilizing, engaging in the service of the Lord. It is of the heart, not of physical acknowledgement. So many Brahmanas also, when they get charity, they give it out. But your question that you have never seen a king in Africa give charity, I beg to differ. Salika Prabhu is my witness. Bhakti Damoda Mara is my witness. There is a king we invited in one VIP program in Lagos from Ijebu-Ede Axis.
Okay.
21 acres of development.
Wow.
It may be red though, but then you have
Thank you. So,
even our Wari temple, the Wari land that
Okay.
Okodete was given by the chief who gave chieftaincy title to like Shnapad.
Okay.
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 Donated the land where the temple is situated now at
Okay.
Okodete.
Okay. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for the more input. Yeah, the king has done something, at least one part of what Prabhupada described. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Ganga Prasad Prabhu, for
in conclusion, Saturday, Prabhu, please, it's great Saturday.
Hare Krishna.
Saturday, Prabhu.
Yes, over Salika.
Yeah, we can hear you, Salika.
Yeah. Oladmedia has said it all. His Grace Ganga Prasad Prabhu has put the icing on the cake. But I just wanted to remind you of one pledge you made. Since Ganga Prasad Prabhu has already, what I will have said, he has said because he's the most appropriate person to speak on this matter. But the only thing I wanted to say is that now that you have been informed of at least 2 direct kings in Nigeria, you have to become a Did you hear that?
I don't hear. Salika. I don't hear. I will surprise you. I will surprise you.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, I've heard that there is one song by one young musician, Justin Bieber.
Okay.
Never say never. So I understood from what Prema Samputa Prabhu was saying that it's never going to be possible that a king will donate a land, but it's very rare. So we're fortunate we had a king who donated a plot of land to us in Nigeria and maybe some other places also, but it's very, very rare. So such a king is very special. And we'll go to Dr. George. You may ask your question on mute. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much for the opportunity once again. Bro, in that I'm trying to find a fault. In terms of giving charity,
okay,
when you see that the Brahmana is misappropriating such charities that you are giving to
You're breaking up, Dr. George.
him.
Dr. George, we did not get your question. You might have to.
Is it good
position and
continue to give? Because to be honest, the other that. Okay, yeah, can you hear me well now?
Yeah, we're saying reposition wherever you're standing or sitting because we're not getting you right.
George.
Yeah, I think the network at my end.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Okay. What I mean is giving charity to Brahmanas. So when you are giving this charity to a said Brahmana and looking at it, he's misappropriating whatever charity is being given to him. Is it better if one can refrain from giving the charity, or?
Okay.
Since it's a matter of duty.
Okay, thank you very much. If I understand your question perfectly well, you are asking that you are giving a charity to a Brahmana, and this Brahmana you are giving that charity to, it's not using whatever fund you are giving to And should you continue to give that into the person or not? Is that the question?
Yes, please, Prabhu. That is
Thank
it. Hare Krishna.
His Holiness, we have my senior God brothers who throw more light also on that. His Holiness, back to dear Maharaj, someone asked one of these questions. I remember some time ago in Ghana. And you see, there are times if ourselves we have some dubious means, crooked heart, our funds will go and end up in a very crooked hand, and they will use it accordingly. But from an intelligent point of view, nobody need to tell you. You're putting the money in the hands of a criminal, and the person is spending the money, and you are not seeing the result of that. What do? You change it. There are so many wonderful Brahmanes in every community, and there are some Brahmanes who live how and when they live their life. I cannot judge, but you should know. That is why sometimes, that's to me, this is my personal way of doing things. If I want to give some money to one Brahmana, I do a lot of deeper reflection. I'm giving this money not because of whatever he's doing. I'm giving this money just because I want to give it to him. And I don't even expect him or her to come and say thank you. When he or she say thank you, I don't care. If he or she doesn't say thank you, I don't care. You are giving that money because you just want to help a Brahman. You understand, George? But if you are giving it in an institution or in whatever kingdom or whatever area that you are, and you see very well that, okay, you have given a specific charity to this Brahmana, and that charity should be used for this, and that is not being done, then you should wise up and go to the right direction. This is all what I can say. But if you're giving that charity from the place of love, that love will have deeper effect on the other Brahmana as well, and things will be used accordingly. This is all what I can say. Leave the rest for Sadev and Ganga Prabhu. Sadev.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the response. I think it's beautiful. And Dr. George, I hope you are okay with that answer. Anybody else with any question? Today is Friday, end of the week.
Yes.
And end of the year. So we hope 2022 will give us more opportunities and facilities to hear more and more about Sri Krishna and his transcendental devotees. I have a very brief and short addition and rebuttal to some of the statements His Grace Ganga Prasad made a few minutes ago. Yes, it's a fact that a junior devotee should not speak when there is a senior devotee. I have had a personal experience of this, and I think I've shared on this platform some time ago, because there was a time when we were doing a special puja for Media Radha Govinda temple. Bhaktita Maharaj had come, and I led the Guru Puja Kirtan in the morning. And for whatever reason, by his grace, he liked the way I chanted. So he spoke to me personally to lead the Sunday, and that day was Sunday, the Sunday evening Kirtan, which was a big festival that lots of devotees were coming. So I became proud within myself because there were other senior devotees who could chant better than I do. And Gurudev selected me. So I became proud within myself. And for no reason, I lost my voice before the Sunday evening program. So I learned right there that when I have this false ego that I am a good chanter, I'm a better chanter, I'm going to lose it all. So that's a fact that when a junior devotee is doing something in the presence of a senior devotee, that is improper. Yet, we are all encouraged to speak the Bhagavatam because the speaker, the hearer of the Bhagavatam, they all benefit. And we are all devotees. ISKCON is a preaching organization. Everybody has to preach. And if we do not speak, then how are we going to be able to speak to the public? And so I have seen many instances where a spiritual master will be in a temple room and asking a disciple to speak, because the spiritual master also wants to see the disciple speak and see where he goes wrong so that he can better help the disciple. And so specifically in today's class, Prema Samputa was scheduled to speak. When he came on, he saw me. I'm senior to him both in age and in devotional service. Does that mean that he had to stop speaking and give it to me to speak? No. He's been asked to speak, so he has to speak. But it is also expected of him to recognize the senior devotee's presence, which he did. And so for a devotee who is assigned to speak, it is his responsibility to speak, and he or she has to, in his or her mind, assume that he or she is a representative of Srila Vyasadeva and speak with that authority while recognizing the presence of senior devotees. Lord Balaram killed Ramahasan because Ramahasan refused to recognize the presence of Lord Balaram. So devotees, no matter who you are subordinate to somebody else. And in that sense, if Bhakti Charadishna Maharaj is scheduled to speak, and His Holiness Bhakti Damodara Maharaj to speak is there in the assembly, does that mean that Bhakti Charadishna Maharaj has to stop speaking? No, he has to speak. And I have observed personally that they always recognize the presence of senior devotees. So that is all I have to say. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Ganga, Salika, Sahadev, Maloka Devi Dasi, and Lamid Hadakum, Sava Guneshwar, Rati Devi. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Any question, any contribution? Otherwise, we'll bring the class to an end, and we all have a blissful Krishna conscious weekend and a happy New Year. Any question, any contribution? Jai. So at this point, we ask all devotees to unmute, and we chant big Hare Krishna to express our appreciation for Prabhuji Prema Samputa and his wonderful lecture.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
all glory
Thank you.
Prema Samputa Prabhu ki jai.
Thank you, Salika, thank you. I'm coming to Nigeria. Since there's a king who gives land, me, I may come. I like that one.
This one, 01230.